He's angry about mortgages. It's Angry Mortgage. He's swearing. He's cursing loud. He's old. He's opinionated. And he's been doing this so damn long. This program is about mortgages, and this is mortgage advice, but the advice may not apply to your situation. Contact licensed mortgage professionals for specific recommendations before you make decisions about mortgages. You may not agree with Ron, but if you don't, he thinks you're wrong. Oh, and did we say there is a lot of swearing?
And we are back with Rob Campbell, one of my favorite guests. I think you're like the highest repeat guest.
I don't know why you keep bringing me back, but I'm so grateful to be here. Thank you so much, Ron.
It's like...
It's the fifth time. For the record, it's the fifth time.
Could it be like the favorite girl at the prom queen? She's favorite for a reason? Like easy to get? No, possibly. I mean,
you had me at lunch. You had me at
You
lunch. Free lunch.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got. Look, if I don't be cruel, if I'm not cruel, I lose all my rep.
Okay.
So that's it.
Okay.
Like I think I'm going for. I think I'm trying to establish my rep as old and cruel.
So old.
So fucking old. So fucking old.
It's true. That didn't take long at all.
That didn't take long. Fuck. I tell you, it's. You know what? In some ways, the worst part about being old, except feeling old. Okay?
What is the worst? What is the worst thing about being old?
That no one
Becoming
knows
older?
your fucking references. Okay.
Okay.
Like if you
I'll
want,
give you that.
If you ever want to mention a fax machine around somebody under the age of 30, this is the wildest part. They just give you a look like, sure, I understand that. But you know they don't.
They don't.
You know they have no fucking clue what you're talking about.
I'm 45 now, and I even make references where people go, "What?" And I go, "Nah, never mind." So
never
let's
mind.
just keep
Never
going.
move along.
Yeah.
It is. That is the thing. The thing about how technology influences society in a way that's more immediate now than ever before.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Then, like, if you think about it, we had a fax machine for a long time. We had it for about 20 years, maybe a little longer. Okay. Like I was around. You're not. You don't even know.
I do know.
Yeah.
I do know. Go ahead.
And then it's so gone now.
Yes.
Except at CRA. It's so fucking gone now. Okay. That there's no ability to reference it. For instance, one more that always sticks out in my head. When I was in my 20s, there was a noise that went on in every office building in Canada. And that was the noise of an IBM Selectric typewriter doing typing. Now, you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
No, I'm being kind. I'm just saying, yeah.
Yeah, you're just being kind.
Yeah.
Old man talking shit again.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, but everybody who's my age, who's in their 60s, who worked in an office, is just nodding now. Yep, IBM Selectric. It was everywhere. Every desk had one. So yeah, but it's the rapidity of change, right?
Do you remember in the mortgage business back 2010? I think National Bank was either Macquarie or National Bank were still the only institutions that you would have to bundle your income docs, and then you'd have a QR code printed off from Filologics. You'd have to put them through. You remember this?
Hold on, it was worse than that.
But wait,
it was worse. Okay, there was a bank in, like you say, around 2008, 2010, that you had to get like an actual cash money, like you had to photocopy some cash money from the client.
Shout out Birdman for all you cash money fans.
Yeah, exactly. But like the stuff and then fax that shit. The stuff we went through was nuts. Like I'm in it 30 years, and I just missed the true madness of mortgages. The true madness was you had an appointment. A mortgage broker had an appointment every Friday.
Okay.
To bring files, physical files,
right,
to a lender and sit for an hour and a half and go through the files.
Oh my God.
On desk to like
belly to
belly kind of. Well, there's a desk in between, but the bottom line is
you're not doing
you physically went through the bullshit with the person. Okay. And
selling the deal.
Well, and then drinks ensued. Oh, so sometimes a turn down could turn into an actual deal. Okay, I was not there, but I was advised that there was a
wow.
If you knew the guy you were dealing with or the gal, but normally a guy, okay, because the gals are still like, I don't mind making this one sexist comment.
Oh, good.
Ladies, are less likely to get drunk and do stupid shit
Yes, of
than
course.
men in general.
In general, yes.
As a general
That's
rule.
very
Particularly in the workplace.
yes.
Okay.
That's a decent claim.
But drinking in the workplace was so endemic in finance and banking 35 years ago. Like it was every fucking bank manager had a desk drawer full of bottles. Every single one.
Oh, baby.
Okay. Every single one.
So Friday would be the day?
Friday's the day. So you would try to judge like the hopelessly straight-laced loans officer, the hopelessly straight-laced branch boss of mortgage brokerage.
Mm-hmm.
You would do them in the morning.
Right.
And then as it got later into the afternoon, you would pick the guy who you knew you could open a bottle up and start drinking.
Okay,
Like
interesting.
You could bring up new
straight-laced guy at 9 a.m.
There's something called, also that no young person knows what it is, called a briefcase. Okay? There were no backpacks. The backpack was only for somebody going up
a mountain.
Everest.
Yeah.
Okay, that was
a fucking
it. Like
mountain.
just Everest.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Other than that, there was something called a briefcase.
Right.
Okay. So many people want
bowler hat and a briefcase.
So many people are saying, "What the fuck is he talking about?" Anyway, in the briefcase, you would have your mortgage files and a bottle.
Allegedly.
Factually.
Yeah. Okay.
Again, that was before my time. No. But I was relentlessly told about it, that it was real, that actually happened.
Now when you're running deals past people, you call them and hope that they're at their desk. But sometimes you catch them at the microwave in their kitchen, nuking up their TV dinner because it's work from home.
Let's face facts. There is definitely an opportunity when you call an underwriter that you will hear a dog barking in the background.
Correct.
That is
correct.
And that, by the way, that isn't a dog barking somewhere on Bay Street. That's a dog barking in the room with them.
Right.
Okay. So that does happen.
Right.
But we're not fighting work from home. For some reason, Canada loves work from home.
They do.
More than the US, more than England, more than so many other countries.
They love it. I think we could have a whole different podcast on that, but I don't want to wade into that water.
No, we got other fish to fry.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna do a very, very super fast political recap, and all we're gonna say is congrats to the new Prime Minister.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely,
it was not a steal.
Right.
It was not crooked. Everything was fine. Right. And congrats to the new Prime Minister.
Paper ballots, by the way, provincially here with the election in Ontario, paper ballot, but processed electronically into an electronic machine.
Correct.
At our polling station. Federal, good old foldable paper, rip the tab into the box.
Correct.
Has to be physically counted. So the guy won fair and square.
Yeah. I'm not worried about it.
Right.
And in honor of it no longer being an election, that in all of our social media work, I would hope rational people would revert to referring to Mark Carney as the Prime Minister, and it's no longer the Liberal Party. It is the government, because that's who they are. They're the government.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
So, because we can reserve personal vendettas for election time, because that's sort of what they're meant for, right? I mean, election time is let's vent ourselves.
100%.
Okay.
100%.
But now that it's back to normal, we will continue. But we will continue to be critical of the government.
Correct.
And the Prime Minister.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, did you hear the latest hijinks that is ensuing this morning?
This morning,
new morning hijinks
with the Prime Minister.
With the Prime Minister, yeah.
Pray tell.
Well, okay, it's because the Prime Minister,
yes,
in his former life, spent a lot of time in Great Britain,
yes,
and got to know every rich person and influential person in Britain.
Okay. As one does.
As one does, if you're the
head
Bank
banker
of England,
in England.
If you're the Bank
right.
of England,
yep.
Chancellor of the Bank of England, Governor of the Bank of England. The Prime Minister has reached out to King Charles.
Oh.
Yes,
Hello.
indeed. He has reached out to King Charles. All the reports are the same. He's reached out to King Charles and invited him to open Parliament.
Our Parliament.
Our Parliament for the new session
to come and visit for the first opening session of Parliament.
Yes.
King Charles.
King Charles. Okay. Now, this is just as a little background for everybody. When there is something called a speech from the throne.
Okay, yes.
That's how you open Parliament.
Yes.
Every single Parliament has to open the same way. Speech from the throne. And that is like almost exclusive. That is given by the Governor General.
Okay.
So there's a charming Inuit lady who likes to fly around at government expense, who is the Governor General. Okay. And
wait a second. Anyway.
She's
You
the
have a
governor.
lot of people that watch this. I'll just.
She's the governor. She's the governor general.
Okay. Yeah.
She loves to fly around at our expense.
Put it on the tab.
Put it on the tab. Put it on the tab. Lovely lady. And she normally would open Parliament. She would give the speech from the throne. So the speech from the throne is written by the government.
Right.
And then the governor
gets
general
read.
reads it.
Right.
But in Britain, there is no governor general.
No.
The king opens Parliament.
Because in Canada, the governor general is representing the monarchy.
100%.
Right?
Yes, that's exactly
I
right.
ain't no little dummy, Ron Butler.
No, I'll tell you what. No, you're not. So I'll tell you what. We were often critical. Even you and I were critical. You too were critical.
Of what?
Of the old government's love of photo ops.
I fucking hated it.
Like we talked about it on the podcast multiple times. It'd be Sean Fraser, the housing minister.
Yeah.
Like nobody had a run of luck like Sean Fraser, right? Immigration minister blew the fuck out of immigration. That was blew the fuck, okay? And then
he dodged. He was like, no, I gotta get out of here.
I'm gonna run now.
Yeah.
Housing. Fuck me. Okay. So, but there was, when he was in housing, there was always this huge man, 6'6", Sean Fraser, 6'6".
Yes, he is. Yeah.
With like a hard hat and a fluorescent vest.
Yeah.
And
boots that never got dirty.
Boots that never got, and always looking at blueprints or looking out at the car. Look at our,
looks good.
We're good.
500,000 homes.
Yeah. So we were always pissed off at government by photo op. So the new prime minister has decided, bigger photo ops. I'm bringing in my buddy Chuck. King Chuck. We're going to bring in King Chuck. Okay?
The king.
The
the
king.
ultimate selfie in Parliament.
I figure the only rational next move is, when there's a new pope, invite him to bless the Parliament.
Oh, so
we're going to bring the new pope in. Pope, king, best photo op ever. Okay? Like that's it.
Wow.
Bring in the new pope. Let's get him in here. First country to bless the country, because he's young, right? We'll have a younger guy. He won't be in a wheelchair. He won't be like all fucked up. He'll be like a new healthy pope for whatever long period of time that is.
What do you think the pope would bring as a gift for the new prime minister? Would it be soap on a rope from the pope?
No, soap on a rope from the pope. Okay, are we going to now go into? Don't drop the soap with some kind of altar boy implication.
Is that like an alternate universe where it's like Curb Your Enthusiasm, where the Pope drops it in Parliament and everybody kind of just looks?
I don't know where you got.
Who should bend over and pick this up? The taxpayer.
All right,
that's how we should do it.
We have now added 300 comments.
Yes, I'm sorry.
To the YouTube channel. Okay?
All due respect to the new
now
Pope.
300. There are going to be 300. Soap and a rope Pope comments.
I'm sorry.
And
my own mother's going to watch this. Mom, I'm sorry.
Mom, oh my God.
I'm very sorry.
I don't think she's Catholic.
Roman Catholic. Maltese,
yes, she's Catholic.
Roman Catholic.
You're in so much trouble.
I'm in shit. Mom, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry.
I was on the edge at Pope Blesses Parliament, but you just ran right there. Okay?
You heard it here first. Soap on a rope from the Pope.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
Anyway, so.
The king.
Look, all I'm going to say is, I promise not to be, we're ratcheting back politics to just rational criticism of the government if they do something wrong. Mm-hmm. And I just want to say, biggest photo op in history
ever.
Not a good start.
No.
Period.
No.
By the way, I hate these fucking royals. Okay. Now, lots of people love them.
Okay.
So you went down on the Pope. I mean, come on. Like I can do the royals.
Sorry, could you say that again?
You were down on the Pope. You were down on the Pope.
Sorry, I couldn't.
You were down. You were derogatory about the Pope.
All right. Anyway, let's bring it back.
So now I'm gonna say openly. That I hate the fucking royals.
Okay.
I mean, I was okay with the old queen.
So was I.
And I think everybody was. Because here's the old
hard
queen.
as nails. Around forever.
Always worked hard. Did the job. Showed up on time.
Never goofing off.
No fuckery.
No fuckery. Zero fuckery.
And she was surrounded by fuckery. Okay.
Lots of fuckery.
Like her own husband, was banging the ladies in waiting. Old Prince Philip, he was banging all the ladies in waiting.
Allegedly, one of her sons was allegedly taking flights to the Caribbean. Allegedly on an
island. No. Fuck.
Oh, okay.
Let's just go straight at it.
Okay.
Prince Andrew is a sex trafficker.
Oh, okay.
He is a sex trafficker. End of story. Okay, that's who he is.
We are covering a lot today already.
But I also know that public figures in other countries have a hard time suing. Okay, so I know this. Right. So let's just say it outright.
Okay. But the Queen, God rest her soul.
No, God, I had until she died. I
Yes.
was okay with it all.
Agreed.
I was fine because
Agreed.
she was a stand-up person.
Agreed.
She never did anything stupid. Never said anything stupid.
Agreed.
She showed up. She was on time.
Yep.
She worked. Obviously, she worked till she dropped. Literally. Okay.
Yep. Yep.
I have a lot of time for people who work hard.
If you watched her Piper walk out of the church after she was buried and you didn't have a tear in your eye.
Yeah, come on. I mean,
come on, man.
And by the way, for people like you and I,
yeah,
only Queen we ever knew. Only
Queen,
royal we ever knew.
Yeah, correct.
Okay?
Correct.
I never knew anybody else. It was
Correct.
just her for my entire life.
Correct.
So now we got Chuck the fuck up, okay? We got King Charles II, whatever the fuck he is, with that fucking shit crown that he had on. He looks like a douchebag. And now we got, and by the way, let's face facts. He's a fucker, okay? Like he was cheating on Princess Di. She was cheating on him because he was such a dick and also 15 years older than her. And like he was just an asshole. He is an asshole to this day. Everybody who knows him agrees on one thing. Pompous prick.
Right.
Okay, that's it. Just thinks he's a genius. He's actually dumb as fuck. Okay. Like
really?
He could barely get through school. He was like an idiot. Okay. And then you got over the other side, you got, hey, Prince Andrew, like, how old are you? You look young. But do you have a driver's license? No. Okay. I still think I'll take you on. Okay. Like nobody as bad as this asshole.
Right.
Prince, okay,
right.
Like horrible.
Right.
Like, I feel sorry for the Queen. Like you really can't. People like to think they can control their offspring.
No.
You know. And by the way, like the girl is normal.
She's very normal, actually.
She's very normal, hardworking, same like her mom. Hardworking, same like her mom. What's her name? Anne. Yeah,
correct.
I think it's Anne.
And
she works hard. Okay. Margaret. Anne. I just call her the woman prince. I just call her the woman princess.
Stand-up person.
She's a perfectly normal person.
Yep.
So. But yeah, no, fuck King Charles, fuck him, okay? I don't think that's illegal to say in Canada. I don't think so. But
I hope we're not going to get dragged off somewhere, but
no, I think we're safe.
Okay.
I think we're safe.
Okay. So he's going to come and open up Parliament. This is strategic, right?
I literally think soap on a rope Pope is more jeopardy than
really.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out soon.
Real quick.
Tomorrow we'll know.
Quick.
We're gonna know.
Real quick.
We're gonna know. All right. So. That's the story there, but I really, really hate the idea that the Prime Minister has decided to go all in on photo ops. Like, look, you and I have talked about this before. This is possibly the most serious moment in time in Canada for years. Years and years.
I agree.
Okay?
We're at the precipice of a fork in the road, basically.
Fork in the road, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so goddamn serious.
Yep.
All right. Let's talk about because one of the reasons I love having Rob on is that he is day in, day out talking to people in the mortgage mines. We call it that sometimes, right? The mortgage mines.
Yeah.
Because it's, people like to think, oh, well, you guys are just sitting in offices in front of screens and
collecting checks. Yeah.
But believe me, when you're doing it full time, it's a grind.
It is a grind.
So it's a grind.
There's a reason I'm 45 and I look 95. There is a reason.
You know what would help? Put on 60 pounds. You'll be,
my wife would beg to differ.
It'll fill you out.
My wife would beg to differ.
The wrinkles will be gone.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
Okay.
Wife doesn't.
It's not going to bring the hair back, but okay.
Your wife's not going to go in on that. Okay. I got it. So,
we are in the trenches every day. Yeah.
Every day. So we're going to talk for a few minutes about what we're seeing on the ground in the mortgage business. Now, statistically in Ontario, and by the way, my company's licensed in British Columbia and Ontario and Alberta as well. I think you've got lots of access if you want to pass business on.
Yeah, Premier, our brokerage. I don't own the brokerage, but I'm a member of Premier, all of Atlantic Canada, Ontario, and some connections in Alberta and BC as well.
It's a big operation.
Correct.
Okay. So. But if we just talk about what's going on in Ontario today, because Ontario is kind of ground zero of sort of this economic upheaval that we're experiencing through Trump, trade war, and a dozen other things that have gone offside. I mean, we're not going to talk about the condos today, the 416 condos, but fuck me, it ain't good. So let's think about what's going on the ground. We all know in Ontario, because you just look at the goddamn numbers. The numbers are published every single month.
Correct.
And purchases of homes in Ontario is spectacularly down.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So how do you feel? What do you get from that on the local side? Like when you're based in Guelph.
I am in Guelph,
This is
Ontario.
a small community just outside of Toronto.
Guelph Mortgage Broker on Instagram. Give me a follow. So I find that people are on their back foot still. Unless you're a public and I know I've gone down this road with you before, public sector jobs, not shitting on public sector jobs, but there's no trepidation in the public sector. They've got income, they've got their wages baked in, right? So there's no real stress. In the private sector, I find people are on their back foot. People are wanting to make a move, but not really ready to make that move. So there's some stress. We are also seeing we're seeing sellers that are not really coming down in price. And I know you've talked about this week in and week out about the fucking values have to come down. It's no different in the smaller communities.
The sale prices have to.
Correct.
People have the wrong view of what they can get for their property.
Correct. So, and what we're also seeing, some of our clients and some of our real estate partners or realtors are seeing, house goes up on the market for $699. Great. Our clients are like, okay, we'll make an offer. It's not obviously worth that. It's worth a little bit more. We'll go in at $720. And there's no sign back. And there's a message back from the listing agent going, yeah, we really wanted $8. And you're thinking,
so
people are still trying to achieve these high values.
Okay, so help me out. So this is a time when any rational, experienced realtor, and let's face it, all the amateur realtors are gone because they're out.
Yeah, one would say that.
It's been a year. It's been 15, 16 months.
Yeah.
So you've just been burnt to the ground.
Yep.
If you're a little amateur, small time realtor, you're gone. Only the experienced guys are left.
Mm-hmm.
Why would an experienced realtor believe that this kind of goofy system that used to work in the red hot...
You're talking about a listing agent?
Yeah, a listing agent. In the 2021 era, in the 2020, better than 2022, the when real estate was red hot, you initiate a bidding war by coming out with a dumb low price.
Sure. I got to think they're buying the listing. Do you
So
know what I mean?
they're saying that to influence the person to list, to give them the list.
Again, no disrespect, because I've got a few realtors that I work with and I hold in high regards, but I got to assume, because the market's so slow. I mean, Guelph Real Estate Board, shout out Sean Murphy at Royal LePage. He provides me with a ton of stats, which I share with you sometimes.
Sure.
30% down on volume year over year. 30%.
And last year wasn't a good year.
It was not a very good year at all.
Right.
We're at 20-year lows. Some would even say 25-year lows. I think Sean shared some stats with me, just volume-wise. So the prices are stuck here, but volume is way down. So to answer your question, maybe they're buying what that refers to, people, is you're not actually paying money to get the listing. You're saying, Ron, what do you think your house is worth? I don't know. Great. I'll list it.
Oh, so whatever the client says,
to appease, right? Because there's not a lot going on right now.
But the wise realtor would say you're never going to get 8.
There are some real estate teams out there that would say, look, I got to be honest with you. I don't think you're going to get action on this at this price. I think we need to be here. And they might lose that listing opportunity because the client's really stuck on the number that they want.
The client may have a mortgage. They may have, they may understand that this is, and they may be shocked that when their neighbor sold something in 2021 for $1,050,000, like, why can't I get 8?
I got a wild fucking story for you.
Go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to keep this super vanilla so there's no 6 degrees of separation. Clients buy in peak madness 2022. They buy
like first quarter 2022.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. They buy for $900,000. Mortgage is arranged in first and second position.
Oh,
because, we'll just refinance you out when values keep going up.
When the value hits $1 million too. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Catastrophe, values don't keep going up. They've since relisted their home, and I won't tell you the number, but they've taken a massive bath on this property because they bought in peak insanity, and they were listening to people who were saying, it's going to be fine. We all knew that it wasn't going to be fine in the spring of 2022 because the writing was on the wall. But so there are those people that are holding out. To your point, I got a fucking $700,000 more. What do you mean sell for $715,000? I gotta pay the lawyer. I gotta pay you. I gotta pay I'm gonna be in the upside down, right? So they're trying to hold on to a number that they might not get. Again, I don't want to throw too much shade at our real estate partners out there because the good ones know what it's worth and they have that conversation. But there's just no action. But what I'm finding is there is action. The properties that are listed well, show well, priced well in a good area are selling in multiples sometimes.
Price for where the market is today.
Correct. That's what I mean by priced well.
Yeah.
It's priced where the market is today. So all the people out there that want to sell this year, it's always a good time to sell when you have to sell. You just got to make sure that you're priced in at what the market's going to expect for today, because you might be waiting for a while.
And I don't think rationally, I don't think we can expect a huge uptick in purchase volume, because there's a category of buyer that was at one point was as much as 40% of the whole market, is the investor buyer, person who's buying an investment property. Okay.
Gonzo.
They are absent.
Gonzo.
I see it. All my staff see it. You see it.
Now you will get people commenting, I bought a 6-plex. We're not talking about that.
We're not talking
about multi-unit. We're talking about mom and pop with a house with a low mortgage, and they want to leverage that mortgage to buy a standalone detached or a townhome,
whatever it is,
to rent it out. No, those are non-existent.
They have left the market entirely.
Gone. Yeah.
And so the entire buyer pool has shrank.
Yes.
Okay, by that element.
Yes.
And they are not coming back tomorrow.
No.
Because they're scared.
They are.
And once attitude shifts, this really takes a lot to shift it back. Mm-hmm. So there we are.
Mm-hmm.
But renewal and refinance. We've been told about the refinance boom, or the renewal boom, that we have this huge bubble of people who have to renew, and it's going on. We all notice it.
Yes,
everybody in the business knows it.
Yep.
And it's going to go on for another 18 months. From people who with a huge buying situation in 2020, 2021, a little bit in 2022, and that's going through the system now. And the truth is, I think it's fair to say that for a straight renewal, some lenders will do anything to hold on to the client.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. It's to the point where, as you guys do here at Butler Mortgage, I ask a certain amount of questions on that initial call. Mm-hmm. Is there any reason to change anything up? Are you looking for extra funds? Do you want to boot out the amortization again? Like, do you want to do some sort of fundamental change to the loan? If those are all no's, and they're like, we just want a straight up renewal, and I say, well, who are you with? And they mention a couple of big 6 banks.
CIBC, RBC, TD.
Talk to your branch.
Talk to your branch.
They're just going to murder us.
Go. Well, but definitely, and they don't always murder you at the beginning.
Not in the beginning.
But, and sort of one of the things we're doing today is, because we offer discounted rates, we say to the client, hey, here's what you just tell them you can get this much from TD.
Right.
Go tell them this is the rate from TD for your mortgage.
Right.
Go, well, can you send that to me in writing? Yeah, I'll send you an email. That's all I'm doing.
Right.
Okay, but I will send you an email if that's available to you.
Right.
You send it to them and say, hey, what do you want to do, CIBC? What do you want to do, RBC?
Right.
Are you willing to match?
Right.
Okay. And fuck yeah, they do.
Yeah, of course.
They just do. Okay. And that's been our constant experience.
Here's an interesting take I heard from a client of mine. So they're coming up for renewal.
Yep.
They called me and said, have you ever heard about this? I said, okay, go ahead. Our existing lender, big 6 bank, said, we noticed that your mortgage is coming up for renewal. Okay. And we noticed that your mortgage has a certain amount of prepayments options. So in the industry,
just quick definition, folks. So typically that's either 10, 15, or 20%. So you could make that lump sum payment each year.
Correct.
You're allowed to it in your mortgage contract.
Correct.
To drop down your balance.
Correct.
So that's a quick definition of it.
So they say, hey, we notice that your prepayment options are 20% per year. You might get a better rate from us at renewal if you're willing to drop those prepayments to a lower amount, like 15%.
Whoa, this is weird. So this client is telling you that the bank is offering them a slightly better renewal rate.
Correct.
If they will impair the conditions on their contract, if they will make them worse.
Correct. Now,
because obviously more prepayment is always in the customer's favor.
Correct.
And that lower prepayment is in the bank's favor.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So
that's weird.
I've never heard it. Have you ever heard of that?
Never heard of it in 30 years. Yeah.
So, hey, what's the likelihood of you making these 20% prepayments? Oh, not very much. Okay. So then what if we scaled you down to 15% prepayments and gave you a slightly better rate? Would that be an option? I have never in 15 years, I've never heard of that.
Never heard of that in 30 years.
So that's where we're at, I guess, with...
Well, I mean, one of the strategies you can imagine, if you're a bank, you think of any ways to make the mortgage, because banks portfolios of mortgages are shrinking. In many cases, they're shrinking today because there's not the wild purchase activity.
No.
There's values have come down in many regions.
Right.
So the purchase, even if you get a purchase, it's for a lower amount than you might have gotten in 2021. So that's a general decrease. And people die and people pay off their mortgages and all the rest.
And
of
also,
it.
if you've been on their books for 10 years out of 25 years, you bought that house for a crate of potatoes and a sack of jelly beans.
And you paid for 10 years. It's
That's
down,
right.
Okay.
That's right.
So so that could be like people say, well, oh, come on, Ron, difference between 15 to 20%. Yeah, but times a million.
Right.
Times a million mortgages.
And on paper,
okay?
we've got this much expected coming to us over the next 5 to 10 years in payments versus a smaller amount.
Yeah, but versus if it's wide open for 20%, we'll get a certain amount of them because we can see what we got in the past.
Right.
And if we carve that down to 15%, we're going to have a little bit bigger portfolio in the coming years.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
It's interesting.
So
Very
that's interesting.
Never heard of that before in my life. So is your experience that we're the same as you? Hey, go take this to CIBC, your renewals up, go take it to CIBC, this offer to CIBC, see what they do, match, pretty good rate. If you can get this, a good rate. So if you can get it, take it. They almost match most of the time. So people should be aware of that. Next is, I think we get it too. We get a certain amount of people who say, look, I bought in 2021. I bought in 2020. I have a 1.89 fixed rate.
Oh my God, yeah.
The best one I can get now looks like it's about, 399, give or take.
Yep.
That's still a jump for me.
Yep.
Substantial is a jump in payment. What can you do to get my payment back down again? And what's the answer?
Well, extend out your amortization, right? You can extend out your amortization.
Yeah.
So if you're coming up for renewal and cash flow is an issue in your home, or, going back to the whole government and the issue with the south of the border right now with trades, maybe you're thinking at the kitchen table, maybe you don't both have government jobs. Maybe one person's working on a factory line and the other person's a delivery driver, right? Like we might be going into a recession. Maybe cash flow is really important to our family. So if we have if we started at 25 and we're down to 20 years remaining, what can you do for us? Well, we could take you to 25, but we could also do a refinance up to 30 just to help with cash flow in case the worst happens.
Yeah. So we encounter that. Now, quick message out to the public. This is not necessarily a great idea.
No,
because
no.
you are increasing the amount of interest you're going to pay.
Correct.
But, we live in a world of reality. Okay. And if somebody says, look, I'm not getting the hours I used to.
Yep. Or I'm not getting younger to work the overtime.
And I have a gig job as well as my second job, and it's going for shit.
Right.
Okay. It used to be better 2 years ago, but it's not going well now.
Right.
I can't take this 26% increase in my payment. I need to do something to cut my payment back.
Right.
So then, yes, that becomes a refinance, just so everybody's clear. Two different things. There's a renewal where you do no change whatsoever. You just shop around for the best rate.
Correct.
And there's a refinance where you either take some money out or you increase the mortgage, or you extend the mortgage to a different amortization. That's called a refinance. And we do see that. That's exactly what we see. We see people who want to re-amortize. We people who say to us, "Well, look, I got this goddamn car loan, and it's up.
Yes.
And there's still a balance I owe, or the car lease, whatever. But if there's an issue here.
Sure.
Okay, I owe some money on the car, and it's over.
Yep.
I got to pay it off. So I need 15 grand.
Right.
So I don't have 15 grand.
Right.
So can we do something with?" Which is, in theory, is a terrible idea. You're putting a 6 or 7 or 8 year old car on a mortgage.
Correct.
Terrible idea.
Correct.
You're going to pay that balance for 30 years. It's
Right.
awful.
But
it might be necessary.
or if you have one family vehicle that's just shit the bed and you got to go buy it. I don't know if anybody's actually looked at the price of cars lately. It's fucked.
No, it's fucked up.
So you want a $900 a month payment, or do you want to wrap it up into the mortgage and potentially help? Again, I agree with you. It's not the most savvy financial advice at all.
It's terrible. Actually,
it's terrible advice.
It's terrible advice. But nobody should be encouraging it. By the way, nobody should be. There's no mortgage broker who should say, "Hey, do you want to finish your basement? I know you've been missing out on your trip to Cuba. I can get you money on 30-year fucking amortization." Fuck you, mortgage broker. The basement can stay as it is.
Right.
Anyway, bottom line is this: there is an increase in that activity. So every bank, every mortgage company, every mortgage brokerage organization is saying, "Look, our business is up. Purchase is way down. Buying of homes is down." Well, it's not down in Alberta. It's pretty good in Quebec. It's okay in Atlantic.
Oh, it's very good in Atlantic, actually.
Is it very good in Atlantic? Yeah, a lot of action still? Yeah, okay. But in Ontario and British Columbia, where purchases are very slow, super slow, and by the way, British Columbia and Ontario are half the population of Canada.
Correct.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
So if that's very slow there, but you still have all kinds of mortgage activity because of this renewal bulge that we're going through and people wanting to make changes in their mortgages.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
There is a bunch of action there. There's no question about it. So every mortgage brokerage, every bank, every mortgage company will tell you business is up.
Yep.
But it's not up on purchases.
No, it is not.
That's how it's going right now. Okay.
Yep.
That's an amazing story about that. Make your mortgage worse, and we'll give you a little bit better deal. That's amazing. So let's talk about the economy for a minute, because it is in Ontario. It is genuinely. I'll get the word out. Genuinely, in my opinion, worrying. And I know that people are always saying, "Yeah, fucking negative fat fuck." Yeah, but I also believe that if you're given information you can help form a plan if you're given the correct information. So one of the things I want to talk about is that, I'm sure that the new prime minister is going to just wheel down to Washington and try to work out a deal with Orange Man Bad. Okay. Like that gets a lot of responses too.
Orange Man Bad?
Yeah, because everybody says, you have Trump derangement syndrome, you fat fucking fool. Okay. Look, I mean, he might be great for America, but so far for Canada, Orange Man Bad.
Do you think people are going to warn our prime minister, like, look, dude, the minute you sit down in that Oval Office,
because you get there every time. You always end up there
with all the press, right? Yep. They're going to try to hang you out to dry.
And Trump's sitting on his chair like he's taking a dump.
Yeah,
right?
It
always looks like he's taking a dump.
He's trying to hold it in. He doesn't want to force out the fart. He's just on the edge of his seat.
Those legs are so spread.
And JD's
right
going,
on the edge.
Tell him, man, tell him.
Vance is going, yeah, shut up.
Tell him.
Yeah. So
did you just say thank you?
That's going to happen.
It's going to happen. So do you think the best play here is for our prime minister to just play it cool in that meeting, but then really talk shit behind closed doors?
Listen, I mean, I'll give you some ideas of things I know nothing about, and presidents talking to prime ministers is definitely one.
Okay.
Like, I have no fucking clue what's said behind closed doors. I think this is much I will tell you. I believe the new prime minister is a calm man. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I believe he is not, he's not like Trudeau talking to the Chinese president Xi, where at the end of that conversation, Xi says in Chinese, "You are a naive, dumb fuck." Okay? Right. That was the Chinese translation of that.
Yeah. I saw that clip where he was telling him, like, "Hey, what we talked about behind closed doors was supposed to stay behind closed doors," and Justin's like, I didn't really mean it. Can we take a photo?
I need to defend democracy. Okay. So anyway. He's gone now. We're not going to take the shit out of him anymore. Sure. He's long gone.
Carney seems a little more reserved.
He's a banker. Bankers can stay cool.
Our prime minister.
The prime minister is a former banker. He can stay cool. I believe that is something he can do. But I have no certainty that there's a deal to be had, or if there is a deal to be had, that it will be some kind of miraculous, full recovery of everything in Canada. That everything will be put right. Okay. Right. I don't think that's true, personally. I don't believe it. I'm perfectly willing to wait and see what happens. I'm not gonna guess. But I am gonna guess. My guess is not put back exactly the way it was. Right. Now, one of the things I worry a lot about, and you have contacts in the automotive industry too. You talk to people who work in automotive. I have some contacts in that industry. And since it's pretty much a sure thing, there's going to be some kind of economic slowdown. It may not be a recession in the U.S., but it's going to be not going to be the buoyant, supercharged economy they've had for the last couple of years. Which by the way, in the last year, it looks like they sold 13 million cars in the United States, which is a good number. No, that's just a good side number. Yeah. But to my mind, just thinking like a fucking mortgage guy looking in, is that if there's a slowdown in the U.S., they will buy less cars. That is a normal outcome every single time. And if they buy less cars, do they need Canada's cars?
Do they need them?
Really?
This is scary, right? Because I came from that world, and I was speaking to somebody who works at the Stellantis plant, or used to work at the Stellantis plant in Bramalea. It used to be the old Chrysler building. And I
That's one of the main 7 plants in Ontario.
correct.
Yeah.
Like I remember when I'm old enough to remember when that place was shovels in the ground.
Oh,
and people would
yeah.
literally come from all over the country to get in line to apply for a
Get a
job.
Good job in automotive.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I said, what are things looking like? He said, man, they don't even know what, they've got no news for us. The plan is to build one vehicle in that plant. And I believe it's the Jeep Patriot or Compass. One of those. And,
I don't think you better not.
Who do you know that has one of those, Ron?
Don't bet your job on Jeep Compass.
Right.
Okay, sweet Jesus.
This is a problem. And I was actually at the Toronto, the Economic Club of Canada presentation yesterday in downtown Toronto, and Flavio Volpe, I believe.
Flavio Volpe.
Yeah, he had some stuff to say about the Canadian auto sector. Look, for everybody that knows a Canadian auto worker out there, there's 10 people underneath that auto worker in subsidiary
related businesses.
100%.
Yeah.
So which we all kind of think, not Flavio's words, but I think it's not going to be great.
No, I don't think it's going to be great.
Not going to be great.
Because if you need to build less cars in North America in general,
I think the output of Canadian vehicles is in comparison to the North American production, it feels like 8%, 7%. Like it's pretty low.
It's about 8.5%. Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
So, but but the bottom line is, hey, by the way, Oakville's been closed for over a year.
Yeah,
Okay,
well, Stellantis and Bramley's been a year and a half.
Ford plant's been closed.
Yep.
Stellantis closed.
Yeah.
I mean, like they're closed. Okay?
They're closed.
Like, oh no, they're going to reopen, Ron. Okay, whatever. Okay, but if there's a lot less cars being sold in North America,
sure, a recession.
I got a feeling that we are not the places they're going to reopen. I'm not.
Right.
Again,
we hope they do.
We hope they do. You're so fucking negative, Ron. But let's plan as opposed to take another fucking toke on the hope bong. We got to call the hope. Everybody's told me we don't know what a hopium pipe is. You old fucking fucker.
The hope
bong. I've switched it to the hope bong.
Okay.
So
I know the next gift.
Take another big drag on the hope bong. People are saying I don't want to keep open anymore. I got to take action. So so here's my plea to politicians in all levels, whether it's Doug Ford. Hey, folks, don't worry about anything. I'll take care of you. Yeah, you fucking fat fuck. It's like, wow. I can say that because I'm fat.
Okay.
So it's like that. That's how it works.
Okay.
It's like if you're in the community.
If you're in the community of fats.
You can say it.
Okay.
All right. Just like some people can say bad things about their community that you're not allowed to say if you're outside the community.
As a white guy, you can't say it.
Don't go there.
Whoa.
Don't go there.
Okay.
But I am saying that I am part of the fat community.
Okay.
Therefore, I can call other people who are in my community.
You sing it
fat.
It's loud and proud, Ron.
Loud and proud. You're fat.
Go for it.
Doug, you're fucking fat. Okay. I recognize how much they had to alter that suit.
Hey, by the way, 6 Degrees of Doug, shout out to Corey Tonight and the guys over at the Hurley Burley for their political podcast every day of the week leading up to this election.
They got up at like 6 o'clock in the fucking
morning,
I love those guys.
I love that show.
God bless
Great show.
By the way, but that's work. When you wake up every morning at 6 o'clock to be prepared to do, that's
and
real
Scotty
work.
Reed, I've suggested that we connect on Instagram. Can you maybe just accept that? I don't know. I feel like Scott Reed and I could be really good friends.
Yeah, he says fuck you.
Okay.
I heard that.
Noted.
I heard that from.
Okay.
So let's be clear though. Politicians at all levels, it's the time for the greatest seriousness.
Yes, absolutely.
Greatest seriousness.
Yes.
Don't bullshit us. Don't go for photo ops. Don't tell us shit that you know in the back of your mind was never going to come fucking true. Like, and for fuck's sakes, stop talking about the ring of fire until the fucking road is at least half built, you fuckers, okay? We talk about all this critical mineral shit. There's no fucking road.
You mean you can't helicopter stuff out of there?
Apparently not, or cannot be helicoptered, okay? So, quit fucking bullshitting us, okay? Stop it, okay?
Do you think they should just start building the road
Just
now?
build the fucking
road.
Pay the indigenous people off. Just give them whatever the fuck they want. Build the fucking road,
right?
Okay? Because if you keep rambling on about this fucking
ring of fire,
the ring of fire is going to be your ass.
Your asshole, yeah.
Like it's going to be, that's the ring that we're going to have because eventually nobody will forgive you.
That's right.
Nobody will forgive you for the lies because when shit hits the fan and people's incomes go down,
yes,
and people are feeling the pain, they will. You can't keep bullshitting people. about bad result.
And this government's going to have to fire up the printing press to help people in the short term. But let's be honest, most people don't actually want the printing press. They want to go to work. They want to provide for their family.
People want a good job.
Yes.
And they want to take it. This is a rich country.
Yes.
We got a country full of energy. It's supposed to be full of energy,
right.
Full of agriculture,
right.
Full of these critical minerals,
yep.
Full of all this shit.
Yeah.
Okay, we got it. Okay?
Hydroelectric, nuclear, everything.
We got it. And don't fuck it up. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Don't fuck it up.
Yep.
Okay. All right, this comes to our favorite part of the program.
Okay.
Which is?
What the actual fuck?
Yeah, exactly. What the actual fuck? And I'm going to go miles away from politics on this one.
Oh, okay.
Because I am losing my fucking shit at the amount of online scams we're exposed to day in and day out.
Okay.
I got a fucking feeling that as the economy gets a little bit worse and people get a little bit more desperate at all directions, and by the way, all these fucking online scams come from mainly other countries. Okay. So, hey, Rogers. Hey, fucking Bell. Hey, fucking tell us. Stop this shit. Like, I get the most ridiculous fucking shit on my phone every day.
Okay.
Text, lying text, fake fucking phone call.
Yeah.
But it's amping up.
Is it?
Yes, fuck it is. Okay.
Wow.
Look.
Do you think it's because you're old? They try to get like, and this isn't a
I'm on
shot
a
over
list?
the bow. This isn't a shot.
I'm on an old list. Okay?
Maybe.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Because I stay away from it all. Okay. Like, but don't you get this shit?
I do get the odd. We have confiscated your package at the border.
Oh
that kind of shit.
But I get, as a business, we get even more shit. Okay. We get, this one will terrify you down to your ball sack. Okay. Like, we're getting like stuff from like big suppliers. There's an email from a big supplier, and I say, this doesn't look right. And like half hour later, there's the apology email. Oh, I don't know how I got hacked. I'm sorry. I hope you didn't click on shit. Like, I'm thinking to myself, fuck me. This is like an epidemic of fuckery. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Like, it's nuts. Yeah. And the other horrible part about it is, some people are falling for it.
Yeah,
you know they are.
I do. Okay? I do.
Like, I'm getting these. You get the phone call about the package at the border.
Yep.
I get the phone call about your social insurance number's been seized.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ, Rogers, Bell, tell us, stop the fuckery. Okay. Like, there's got to be a way.
There's got to be a way.
There has to be a way, even just to reduce it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much of it. It's so endemic to our society now. It's driving me nuts.
A friend of mine had his mother, his senior citizen mother, got a call in her home. It's the bank. Somebody's been tampering with your credit card and your debit card. Oh, wait. What we need you to do is we need you to put your credit cards and your debit cards into an envelope and put your PIN numbers on a piece of paper. Leave it in the mailbox. We're going to send a police officer around.
She didn't do it. She did. Jesus Christ.
Okay, so people, please call your parents, call your loved ones, tell them not to tell anybody we're literally at this point now in 2025. Don't believe anything.
What drives me nuts is we went through the last 20 years of, I'm going to seriously agree, the technology made our lives better, easier, more efficient.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
But somehow in the last 2.5 years, we've slipped into this world about, I'm having to do third-party identification to
reconnaissance.
Take a piss.
Yes.
I got to get a text to take a piss now.
Yes.
Okay. Like, yes, I would like to look at this file in the system. Oh, you'll have to text. So we're sending you a text.
Yes.
You a number.
Oh, can we talk about that? Can we talk about logging into lender portals?
Wait. God.
You log into a lender portal. You put in your username, password. We're going to text you. It sends a text. You got a PIN. You got a Face ID, satellite beams, just to get into the fucking portal.
Just to look at a mortgage.
Look at a deal.
Look at a fucking mortgage.
And then if you sneeze and scratch your ass and go to the counter and back, you get timed out and you got to do it all over again.
No, it's fucking madness. Like everything, all of the 20 years of growing efficiency, growing improvement that I've witnessed has gone down the fucking toilet in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And my belief is, it will get worse. There will be more scams because clearly Rogers, TELUS, fucking Bell couldn't give a fuck. Okay. I don't believe that. What evidence is they give a fuck? I don't see it. Okay,
Could
I
this
don't
even
see
go up
anything
the
getting
ladder?
better. I don't see. Do you see anything getting better?
No, of course not.
It gets worse.
Of course not, yeah.
And they are the gatekeepers.
Mm.
Are they not? Like all these cocksuckers are in. I think I can say that.
It's
Okay,
your show?
It's my show.
It's your show?
All these sons of bitches are in Asia, or they're in Russia, or they're in Belarus, or they're in fucking Turkey, or they're
Bangalore.
where the fuck ever they are. Okay,
Yeah.
like that means they have to get into the countries through they're offshore.
Yeah.
Ron, you don't understand how complicated it is. They can create a spoof that's. I don't care. I don't fucking care, Bell. I don't fucking care, Rogers. You are up to your ass in money, you fuckers. You own every sports team in
Everything.
Canada. You own
Everything.
it all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Spend the fucking money to fix this. I am fucking so tired of having to look at a text to scratch my ass.
Yes.
I am a third-party identification
Yes.
for ass scratching.
Yes.
I am fed up.
Yes.
See you next week, folks.
If you like the pod, well, don't just sit there. Go to YouTube, Apple, Spotify, and all the other ones and like the pod. And don't forget to subscribe so we can keep being angry at mortgages and swearing about mortgages. Angry Mortgage could use your support.